Yo, what's good, YouTube? Antiyami here, back with another video. And in today's video, we're just gonna showcase off some basic combos for my Ryzeal White Forest deck. Thank you again, guys, for hitting 100 likes. As I promised, I said I was gonna drop a little combo video, a little mini tutorial. Yeah, I don't want to keep the intro too long. Let's go ahead and hop into the video. I'm gonna showcase 3 different combos that are basic. Then I'm gonna go through 2 test hands through Droll. Let's go ahead and start with Azet plus a spell and trap discard that doesn't really matter, right? Something that doesn't reset itself. So you pitch talents for Azet. Azet is going to search for Sylvie. Then we're going to normal summon Sylvie here. Tails of the White Forest. Then we synchro Ryzeal. I believe that's how you pronounce her name. I always like have to look at it because I always confused with Rusia. Chain link 1. Sending Tails to search. It doesn't really matter in this situation which one you search for, because we're gonna have access to both of these anyway. So we'll go ahead and just add both of these to our hand. Tails is gonna reset itself, and then we're gonna activate it to search for either one of these. Then next we're gonna activate the effect of Azmina Azet, summon itself, synchro 8 into our Dilla Bells. Then we're gonna chain link 1 this, chain link 2 add back. We're gonna just add back Tails here. You can add back whatever you discarded if you feel like that's more valuable, but in this example, we're just gonna add back the Tails. Azmina Azet is gonna search for our Deception. Now, here's 2 bridges or 2 lines that you can go down. If you happen to open up, like, say, another monster card, even Black Witch can work in this situation. If you have like a Ryzeal card or, you know, something of that matter, you can actually go Deception, tribute the extra monster you have in your hand, so the next couple of plays you have can be protected through Nib. For example, we have Black Metal in our hand, so if we happen to have an extra monster here, we're gonna go Deception, tribute this, add Hollowed, and then you will just basically go Hollowed, summoning Arcielago. Arcielago is going to search out the Wanted. And then you would actually use Hollow in the graveyard, shuffle back your Azmina Azet, and then you set up your Sylvia or Silvera with the Omni, and then you have Black Witch in your hand. So that what that will look like if you had an extra monster in your hand, and that's like the best combo in the in this particular line. But just to showcase what we have here with this Azmina Azet or Azet plus spell, we're going to keep it simple, right? So we're going to activate this. We're not going to use the effect. Then next we are going to, so this is very dangerous into Nib. Sylvie going to shuffle back the Synchro 6 here, and then now we're going to special summon Rusia, sorry. We're going to overlay Duo Drive. The effect of Duo Drive will trigger here Sword, and we're going to search for Fill Spell. These are typically the 2 targets you always search off a Duo Drive. Some combo hands you will search for others, but in this particular line we will search for the Sword here. So we're going to activate the Fill Spell. Then we're going to activate Deception, tributing Duo Drive for Hollow, activate Hollow, sending those 2 away for Arcielago. Then Arcielago effect will trigger, searching for Wanted. Then we're going to use the effect of Hollowed here to shuffle back the Azmina Azet. Then we're going to activate Hollow, chain Wanted, searching for Black Witch. And then this is going to resolve to summon out our Arcielago. Sorry, our Silvera. Put this here. Summon Sword. Effect of Sword. X Ryzeal. Then we're gonna special summon X by dumping the, let's do twins here. Then your overlay, detonator. Then we're gonna use detonator effect to equip the, or attach the equips twins. Go for our Black Witch. And in our graveyard, we do have Deception plus Wanted. So in this particular situation, to make your Black Witch more free, And this is also very important to do this because we are playing Betrayal. So Deception resetting itself back is less important because you'll automatically get follow-up off your Black Witch when you activate Betrayal's effect. So we're going to actually put this to the bottom, and we're going to use the effect. Let's just search for Imperm. Doesn't really matter. And then we're going to pitch the Imperm, the extra card. Oh, also, when you summon Ryzeal, you can also send Tails if you want to trade it for something completely different as well. So you get to see at least 2 cards in this particular combo line, but I don't want to show too much drawing here because that's just like a random variance. That's going to depend on your combos. So, and then you go Black Witch sets from the deck, the Betrayal. And now, as you guys can tell, we have our full combo here. And this is really, really, really good to set up. I feel like this is pretty much an FTK. This is basically what the combo line I try to go for in this particular thing. So we have 2 detonator pops. We have a monster negate. You have an omni negate. You have Dilla Bells. This is also like really weird to get over because it makes all your opponent's monsters 500 or I guess 1,000 if you have this. So it's hard to beat over stuff. And then if they pop this or whatever, it gets more follow-up. So it's just annoying. And then you have the Black Witch plus Severa plus the Black Witch follow-up. And then, of course, you got the follow-up for the White Forest in the grave. So, and yeah. So, you still have, basically, I think in this hand, you will have 4 cards in your hand, too. So, that's also something to look into. And plus, you drawing into cards. So, most likely, you'll have, like, 1 or 2 hand traps at the minimum, particularly. So, yep. This is going to be our common inboard we're going to try to end on. Let's go ahead and showcase combo number 2, which is going to be Black Witch plus Toy Box. Okay, for combo number 2, we have Dilla Bellstar plus Toy Box. So here you'll activate Toy Box, and we're going to randomly set our Toy Tank and our Toy Soldier. Then after that, we're going to Black Witch, sending the Toy Soldier, chain link 1 Toy Soldier, chain link 2 Black Witch. And there's a couple of things that I want to discuss here because there's a lot of avenues you can go in this position. So you can really respect Droll or you can disrespect Droll, and there's a lot of options you can do here. So if you want to, here, I guess I show off the Black Witch sets here to play around the most. So if you want to play super safe around Droll, you can actually, because typically you always will set Deception here, but you can also set the Severa trap, because what's going to happen is you're going to trigger your Toy Soldier. Your Toy Soldier is going to activate, and then you have 2 options here. You can either go for where's his name, Ice. There's a complicated line with X Ryzeal, but not with Betrayal. Let's see, but we're not gonna worry about X. X is like a very complicated situation. And the other card we're gonna search is Sylvie, and I'll discuss this. Of course, in the combo, we're gonna only go over the Deception line. But just to play really safe into like Droll, you can set Betrayal and then add Ice, because then now if your opponent goes Droll on this, then you can like normal summon Ice. Ice goes into like a free detonator, and then you have this plus like detonator, and it's really, really, really strong. So keep that in mind. Also, you can, instead of setting this, you can still set this if you kind of want to have a stronger end board, but you're not respecting Droll, like you're half respecting Droll, then you can still search Ice Ryzeal and then still do the exact same thing. But if you really want to disrespect Droll, which is what we're going to showcase in this particular combo, we're searching the Sylvie, because this gives us the broke board. So, but yeah, so we're going to go for Toy Soldier searching Sylvie, and then of course Black Witch is going to accept the Deception here for the higher ceiling combo. So let's just showcase that. So after that, what we can do is that we tribute our Black Witch, and we're going to go for our Hollowed. Then with that, we're going to activate Hollowed, revealing Arceologo, and then we're going to summon Arceologo. Effect to search Wanted. Now, here's another thing too. So if you start with Black Witch, if you start with Black Witch, you can actually search one in this position, but a lot of the times you will already have went through your wanted because you play 3 of this, but 1 Black Witch. So in this particular combo, this is basically the easier combo to do. And it doesn't come up as much as you think, but it can, right? So in this particular situation, let's pretend we already activated wanted. So let's just actually just dump wanted. Let's say we started with the wanted searching Black Witch just to, you know, showcase that. So let's just do that. Because this line is very, very important, and I think it's a little bit more complicated to see, right? So here we will automatically add our Sinful Spoils of the White Forest. We haven't normal summoned yet, which is very important in this particular line. So yeah. Next, we're going to activate the Hollow's Graveyard effect by shuffling back Ryzeal, adding that back to our hand. And then next, we're going to activate Hollow, chain Sinful Spoils of the White Forest, special summoning Sylvie. And then now we're going to special summon Severa. We're going to activate Sylvie to search for Tails. And then we kind of do like the Sylvie 1-card combo here. We're going to activate Tails, Azet, Azamina. You could technically add Azamina, the regular Azet, if you want to do here. But I find this to be a little bit cleaner to go for this line. So we're going to activate her effect, special summon herself. And then we're going to synchro into the Synchro 6. Activate the effect. Chainlink 1, Azamina Azet. Chainlink 2 to send Toy Tank. And Zet's here. Then after that, we are going to search wanted. Then new chain link, we're going to trigger our Toy Tank to summon itself out. Then we're going to activate the effect of LZ to summon itself, sending the toy box. Ryzeal. So search for our Ryzeal here. We're going to synchro 8 our Delibels. Then we're going to use the effect of Delibels to actually add back our toy box. So now we're going to set up these two. Next, and what's so funny about Toy Tank is that if we had activated toy box here again, we can actually bring back any level 6 monster from our graveyard, which won't be relevant in this combo, but it's just something to note that this card in the grind game is broken because you can also bring back your Ryzeal monsters as well in the grind. So Toy Tank is like my favorite card in this deck by far. Then we're going to go into our Duo Drive effect. We haven't normal summoned yet. We can actually search for ice, which is actually a lot better. So we're going to search for ice here and fill spell. Typically, if you already have like normal summoned, you can just search for sword plus fill spell, because sword will just summon itself out and yeah, you just go to town. But if you still have your normal summon, always go ice and cross, because that's just better. So then now you're going to activate our cross here. We're going to actually Sylvie. This is what I was missing. I'm sorry. Sylvie, shuffle itself back. Then you go into Ryzeal. If you want to get an extra draw here, you can actually go like toy box, setting back these two, and then you can use Ryzeal's effect to send either or to draw extra card, just for, you know, extra value here. But for the sake of, you know, combo, we're just going to not do that. So then now you go into your number 60, your Dagars. Then we're going to detach 2 to draw 2. So we're just going to draw 2 random cards. Let's just do imperm. And then we're going to send the imperm away. We're going to actually put the Dagars. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter where we put it. It's probably more optimal to use your extra monster zone, just to make things a little bit more optimal. In this particular situation, let's just put Dagars here, just to make things a little bit more optimal. So next, we're going to number summon Ice. Ice is going to summon our sword here. Sword is going to activate searching X. So now let's go into the Equipped Twins here. Put in an extra, let's just put this here. And then, nope, we put this in extra monster zone. Then we go X. Oops. Dumping something like aggregator. And then we can make a really big detonator. Like this. There we go. And we have the Eclipse twins here as well. So if we somehow get this outed or whatever, or if this ever gets sent to the graveyard, we can bring back our Ryzeal. Or sometimes you can use all our Ryzeal attachments, and then if we somehow send this to the graveyard somehow, this is why I like the Betrayal so much in this hand. And also you still have a draw with this, and then you also have Deception coming back. But this is why I like setting up the Betrayal, because you can go Betrayal with the Della Bellstar, and then you can actually send the toys. You can also send Eclipse to bring back your Detonator. If your Detonator, like say for example, they try to threaten you with talents, you can Detonator pop, and then they'll take something, and then you can use Betrayal, just an example. But yeah, that's just what it is. So it's very strong, very, very strong. Yeah, so for our last combo, we're gonna showcase Toy Box plus Toy Box. All right, for our last combo here, we have Toy Box versus Toy Box. So we're gonna activate Toy Box, use the effect, set these two. Then we're gonna activate another Toy Box, popping these two. Then we're gonna trigger Soldier 1, Tank 2. This also plays around Bestials, which is cool because you don't control any monsters. It's good. Then you go Toy Soldier. Now you have a ton of options here. You can go Ice, you can go X. But I think what's really important here is that we wanted to go for Sylvie. So in this particular situation, we're doing the Sylvie line here. So we can do this. So what's funny here is that you can turn these two into an SP Lotonite, and now you can normal summon Sylvie to protect it from Veiler Imperm if you like, if they didn't Imperm Veiler your Soldier. But a lot of people here, this is where they make a lot of mistakes, because now they think you're just on regular White Forest, and they're gonna usually hand trap Toy Soldier, which is so funny, because if that happens, then you punish them with a dual drive and put them on better have a second low impact hand trap. But yeah, continuing the combo here, so we can actually go into these two, and again, you have a ton of options here. You can immediately go into dual drive if you like, but if you want your dual drive to resolve, it's better to go into Sylvie here. So we're gonna go ahead and normal summon our Sylvie here, do Tails, and you guys know what we're going to do here. Tails effect. Let's just go ahead and go into Ezet before we go into the Azamina Ezet, because this plays around Nib a little bit better. So here we're on summon number 3. So for summon number 4, you can actually turn these two into a dual drive, because you're kind of like, you already test like Imperm Veiler like for Toy Box, and this we haven't really checked for Ash, but this could be our Ash check here. So we can go ahead and detach 2 for our dual drive, and if this resolve, go into our sword and fill spell and activate the fill spell. And from here, we're going to go ahead and continue pushing with up as that, because now this is going to be our 5th summon here. We're going to send the Toy Box, and we still have our sword in hand, so still end on something like a Detonator and stuff like that. So we're going to go ahead and go into Ezet here, and then we're going to search out for the Azamina Ezet. So this is probably the best nib here. You're going to deal with so much White Forest stuff, and once you get the White Forest stuff rolling, it's pretty dangerous. So like if you get nib in this particular situation, let's just say like that happens, then you can go into like your sword and go from there. If you have something in your hand like a Veiler or an extra like Spellcaster, you can go into your Azamina lines with this. But what's really important here is that you can go into your sword, and then sword will go into your X, and then you can, do your whole Ryzeal stuff from there. And if you're really trying to play around Nib, there's an advanced combo line, but again, this is kind of like the basic stuff, so I don't want to go too far into playing around everything optimal, because this is just a test or just tutorial combos. We're gonna synchro for 6 here, activate the effect to send Toy Box to the Ryzeal. So let's just go into Ryzeal here, just because we were playing more of a rank 4 engine here, so we probably want to go into the Garrus. Boxing Crow. We'll go into that. And then of course we do our classic Chain Link 1, adding Deception, Chain Link 2, adding back to Toy Box. And we're going to activate Deception, tripping Dual Drive. And then I'm going to put Wanted over here because we will be searching Wanted here in the near future. Adding Hollowed. And then we're going to activate Hollowed, revealing the RCL logo, summoning RCL logo, effect, search Wanted, Hollow's effect, putting back the Azamina Azet. Then we're going to do Boom Boom. Then, out of order, searching Black Witch first. I like to go for my Dagaris play here. So let's go for Ryzeal. And again, we have a free draw here with Ryzeal. We can go Toy Box, resetting the toys here. And again, you can opt to go for a draw if you like. I'm not going to showcase it in this combo. Then we'll go Sylvie effect, spinning back Ryzeal. Then overlay. Effect of Dagaris, draw 2. We're going to search for Imperm, discard Imperm. Who cares? And then for our next combo here, again, I gotta remember to put my stuff into the extra monster zone, because a lot of times I like to put my Severa up here. That's why you probably see it in a lot of my inboards to have this up here, because worst case scenario, this is gonna tribute itself, so you're always gonna have space up there anyway. So let's just put the guards here just for safe, like space, because space in this deck really does matter. And once you lock yourself into rank 4s, you can't make SP Little Knight, which is your only link in the deck. So yeah, this is just definitely more optimal. Then you're gonna search for your X. Use X effect, dumping. Let's dump the. Yeah, it's definitely twins here, because we don't have an extra rank 4 or level 4 monster to turn that into your twins on the board by, dumping this and stuff. So yeah, you want to dump twins, because we're going to just add it back. And then we're going to actually use Black Witch to send the Dagaris. So twins is like ultra live. And then we're going to use Detonator's effect, attaching this up to twins. That right there. Then we're going to use Black Witch effect, sending this, special summon Black Witch. And then Black Witch is going to set our beautiful Simple Spoils of Betrayal. And now we met our end board here. And this is actually a little bit stronger than the end board we had before, because now we have Toy Box in rotation. And again, any inboard with Toy Box is like, you just have infinite gas. And again, we have the draw off the Wanted, because you really want to do that, because you're going to have follow up with Black Witch anyway, because Black Witch on your opponent's turn either going to set Deception or is going to set the Wanted. So again, this is another common inboard which you're going to have here. And again, you have access to draw. You draw 4 cards in this combo, which is really insane. So you really get to see a lot of your non-engine really come into play here with like a really broken inboard. So you're going to see a lot of your side deck stuff like talents. That's why I kept seeing talents a lot, by the way, and things of that nature. So yep, that's going to be it for like kind of like the bread and butters of the deck. Again, there's a lot of different ways and different lines that you guys can do, but I might, for the sake of time, I'm going to probably showcase only one hand through Droll, because I don't want to make this video super long, because it's already long enough. So let's just go ahead and showcase that. And what would this one random test hand? Your deck plays a lot of starters, so hands like that typically don't happen. Like I didn't brick at all in a tournament the other day. So I think I had one really weird hand where I had to kind of like formulate a way to play, but I never had a hand where I had to like summon Droll, activate Tails, or anything like that. Like every hand was playable. So I had at least some kind of like 1-card start in my hand, with, even if it was like summoning Sword or something like that to that matter. something like this. All right, so let's say our opponent's only hand trap is Droll, and again, a lot of our hands we're gonna always try to like not get super punished by Droll. So let's go ahead and see what's our best way of action here. So we do have Toy Soldier with the Wanted here. So what I'm gonna do here, if I was in the tournament and I was thinking, I would actually do this in Draw Face and let them know like, hey man, I got Black Witch, she's coming down. So we're gonna go ahead and activate Black or Wanted to search this. And again, if they ash this, because this shows like kind of like a weakness, because that tells your opponent that you don't have talents. Less of a tell because talents is at 1, but they're more inclined to ash this in Draw Phase because there's no like punish if they do. I have to have like engine to do it. There is a very interesting line where if your Black Witch doesn't get stopped, like say if they don't imperm Valor it and you get to the Deception and then they like say ash the Deception, you'll always tribute to Black Witch because now it makes your X live, because now there's no other like non-level 4 monsters on board. So then you can go from there. So let's go ahead and do that, right? And again, we're going to try to respect Droll as much as possible, because since now we have ice, we're more guaranteed to have a detonator on the inboard. So that's really good. So we're going to set our Toy Soldier. And then we're going to special summon Dilla Bellstar by pitching the Soldier. And we're going to chain link 1 Dilla Bellstar, chain link 2, or chain link 1 Soldier, chain link 2 Black Witch. And in this particular situation, you can really think about it. Again, if you really want to play around Droll, and a lot of the tournaments or a lot of the times I'll go for like a low combo line, because you don't really need to go full combo every single time. Just because you have full combo doesn't mean you always got to crank it out, especially if there's popular hand traps in the format like Droll. So if you want to really respect Droll here, let's go ahead and set this, especially because we have ice, and I think this plus like detonator is crazy. So then we're gonna go into our Toy Soldier, and then we're gonna activate our Toy Soldier, and this is going to search out our toy box because we don't control toy box. And if our opponent has Droll here, they're gonna Droll you, so then now you're on a Droll. So now it makes your X Ryzeal like not as crazy, but you can still do it. First, we're gonna activate toy box. So let's not X here. We'll just use X as our follow-up. Let's normal summon. Oh, well, you're still technically getting it because you go ice, summon back our like sword. I think in this particular situation, we're going to summon. We're going to summon an X here. And this may be like super safe, but we're gonna try to mitigate our nib here as much as possible. So we're gonna actually go into detonator, and again, it looks really silly here, but we're gonna try to make the nib hurt less here. So no dual drive or detonator effect, and we're gonna keep this to the low as possible to the ground. There's no reason for Toy Soldier to be even face up anymore. So now we're gonna use toy box to reset our Toy Soldier and our toy tank. And then we'll pass on this, end on this, and this should be enough to win the game. Again, when you go Black Witch or Severa, Black Witch effect, and then you can go back into Black Witch, sending Toy Soldier, and then you just get your like back into your follow-up here. So you can probably set something like Deception, and then Toy Soldier will bring itself out, and then you can search something like a Sylvie on the crack back and stuff like that. So that's what that will look like. So yeah, we're gonna leave it off with that, but that's just kind of like some tech to like what would happen if you kind of get hit with a Droll, and some of the like the thought process and the sequencing if you get hit with Droll. So that's just kind of like what I think about and what I would try to end on if I do get hit with that card. But okay guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end it off here because this video is already way too long, and I hate doing long videos, especially if it's just not like that interesting. So but yeah, if you guys enjoy the combo and stuff like that, again, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. It helps out a lot. I'm trying to at least get to 2K subs maybe by the end of the year or something like that. Hopefully that happens, maybe not, but that's one of my goals. So yeah, hopefully we'll get there, but road to 1500 at least. So again, I'll catch you guys in the next video. I'll see you guys for more all-in content, or Allen, or whatever they want to call it, Alliance Insight format. So we're going to be cooking some lists off for that. So I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.